Hello students, how are you? I hope you are doing well at your home. So today we are going to study lesson number 4 from the supplementary reader book, okay? Bravery is generally defined in terms of physical feat. According to them, bravery is the timely use of physical power. But the fact is that bravery has not as much concern with the physical strength as it has with spiritual one. In fact, bravery is the power motivated by internal strength and mental spirit. To save one's life in the struggling condition of the world can also be called bravery. But the high spirit of people's welfare is inherent in bravery. We can say that to struggle against injustice is also bravery, and showing courage to do a perilous job is also bravery. Sacrifice of the society and the nation is also bravery. A person who shows unusual courage in a battle is not the only person to be called brave, but a person who makes laudable contribution in the field of karma, philanthropy, and religion is also called brave. Person who keep patience in different circumstances are all really brave. So here in some related inspiring story or inspiring incident, Shivaji himself used to keep an eye on the security of the state and looked after the happiness and comfort of his subject. For this, he used to travel in disguise. When he rode on a horse to the border of his kingdom in disguise, all of a sudden a boy came with a sword and stood before him. He challenged Shivaji in a loud voice, "Who are you? How dare you cross our border? If you move a step further, I will cut your body into two." Shivaji wanted to test the courage of the boy. He said, "All right, let's fight." The boy was not afraid. He picked up his sword and launched an attack on Shivaji. Shivaji avoided the stroke and moved his sword in such a way that the sword in the boy's hand dropped. The boy rushed to pick up his sword. In the meanwhile, Shivaji poked the spur to his horse's side and disappeared from the scene. Okay, the boy could only see the dust race in that direction. Shivaji summoned that boy to his court. When he reached his capital, the boy presented himself in the court and saw that it was Shivaji who was sitting on the throne now. With whom he had a fight, Shivaji asked the boy his name. "Savalya," said the boy. Shivaji recruited Savalya in his army. The boy showed his bravery and achieved higher post in the army. Later on, he died in a battle fighting for independence. It was a 500 feet Ray Ganja. It was a severe winter. At 5,000 feet, Rejanga La was shivering with cold, but Indian soldiers were holding their feet firmly in Chusul range and protecting the country. They were neither scared of the height of the mountain nor of the biting cold. Major Setan Singh Bhati was on duty there protecting the border of our country with his company. On 18th November 1962, the Chinese attacked his post. They were in a large number. They had mortars and light and heavy guns. They were bombarding the post with these. The army began to move forward. Major Setan Singh divided his company in a small group and began to face the enemy. The morale of the Indian soldiers were very high. In spite of heavy firing, they were killing the Chinese soldiers. Major Setan Singh was moving from one group to another and was encouraging them. While doing this, he got hurt, but he did not move back. He continued fighting, risking his life. The enemy suffered heavy casualties. Hundreds of Chinese were injured. Major Setan Singh's body was needled with bullets. His arm was badly hurt. He was bleeding profusely, but he was not ready to leave his post. His subordinate tried several times to take him back and send him to hospital, but he refused to do so. He preferred to die while fighting against the enemy because Major Setan Singh courage, commitment to duty, and able leadership. Every soldier of his company fought the enemy till he died. Major Setan Singh, who belonged to Kumon Regiment, was posthumously awarded Param Veer Chakra for his unflinching courage. And next story is, once there was a violent storm in the sea, and a ship which had anchored as a distance from the port was about to sink. To rescue the passenger of the ship, it was essential to take a boat to the ship. A man was needed to row the boat, but nobody was ready to row the boat and risk his life in the storming sea. A boy was standing at the coast. He felt pity for the passenger. He asked for his mother's permission to row the boat to the ship. Hearing the boy's request, the mother felt love for her son in her heart. Her husband had gone on a voyage 6 months back and had not returned yet. People thought that he had died. Except her son, he had no one to her own. She did not want to lose her son. While she was thinking about this, she looked at the ship. She saw that the passengers in the ship were anxiously waiting for the boat. The ship was sinking fast. She thought that those people had also their families. If their ship sank completely, their brothers and sisters and relatives would suffer. She thought, if my son dies saving these men, I would somehow manage. But what about the relatives of all those? Thinking this, she said to her sons, "Son, go. May God give you a long life." The boy took the boat to the ship. After some time, all the passengers were rescued. Fortunately, the boy's father was among the passengers. The boy returned home with his father and said to his mother, "Look here, Ma, you let me go with the boat, so with other people my father is also safe." It's complete.